It's an unusual story indeed, especially since rebirthing had a boom of popularity in the 80s, and people have come to think of rebirthing as a way of getting rid of stress and anxiety and phobias. I guess it's not that commonly known that rebirthing has some larger healing applications.
There is nothing that rebirthing can't heal.
That's a pretty strong statement.
I am still learning about this process 30 years later. I am still, it never ceases to amaze me. I am still in awe of what a simple breathing technique can do.
What about major incurable physical illnesses such as AIDS, such as cancer? I mean, you're not going to suggest that rebirthing can heal those conditions?
Rebirthing has already healed all of the popular diseases.
Well, why aren't we hearing about that?
Well, I made a documentary after a doctor came to me dying with lymphatic cancer in 1991. And to my knowledge, the doctor is still cancer-free.
But we're here in the mainstream and we're looking for cures. We're spending billions of dollars in research, looking for any kind of drug, any kind of potion, any kind of therapy that can heal cancer. Surely rebirthing would have been noticed a long time ago if it could bring about these healing outcomes.
I don't know why it hasn't been noticed. I feel there's a lot of ignorance in the world, and I think if people opened their minds more and dropped the ignorance, rebirthing would have been put on the map completely by now. It's been around now for over 30 years.
So, what do you think makes people resistant to the process?
Because there's no easy way out of what you're walking with. And you must experience the feelings. And people in the mainstream are walking around in dead bodies. And they are afraid to feel their feelings.
Well, if this is true, what you're suggesting, then it's got some pretty vast ramifications. What you seem to be saying is that society as a whole is full of bottled up, painful feelings that aren't being addressed, and that it's purely these feelings which cause the body to sooner or later break out in disease.
Absolutely. And the sad thing about it all is that people are not aware of the stuff that they have suppressed until they begin this breathing technique. So this is the problem we're having in getting rebirthing well known, is because people are so unaware that if you came through a womb, you have pain and stress and suppressed emotions inside.
But does that pain and stress and traumatic emotions really have any effect in your life? I mean, after all these feelings are buried deep down and they're just sitting there latent. How can you suggest that these feelings are going to have impact in later life?
Well, if you suppress enough, you separate body and spirit. And these blockages that we walk with in our bodies eventually shut out the spirit completely. And that is death.
Now that's a position that's quite different to the position a lot of churches have traditionally taken. The churches see that the spirit is all that matters and that the body is just like a disposable overcoat, if you will.
No, the body was made to last forever. We have in our bodies cells that are dying constantly and other cells that are renewing constantly. And every 11 months we have a whole new cellular system. So how can it be that the body is disposable?
Well, that's like saying, hey, this is the same axe except it's had 5 new heads and 3 new handles.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So if we're turning over cells at such a rate, how come we still carry a cancer around from year to year to year, even though all of the cells have turned over?
Every illness, David, is emotional. Every illness, you can track it to an emotional root. And once you have tracked down the emotional root and pulled it out, the illness simply disappears.